Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So just in case you didn't catch the first video had all the story up to the 3 boss battles. Now this particular video will contain not only the 3 boss battles, but the commentary before and after. So hopefully that's okay for you, and if not, I'm sure you can fast forward to the battles themselves and see what kind of strategies we employ in order to beat them. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. Also, I do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. Now in this case, we are going to have to tackle Lord Ukulele's older brother. And you can see that he looks exactly the same as Lord Ukulele, except that he has a different color. So hopefully he won't be too difficult. That being said, in order to prepare for this fight, by fighting Lord Ukulele, especially in Rattly Otherlands, you'll have an idea of how to fight this particular boss as well. I will say, Lord Ukulele in Rattly and also in the Rattly Otherlands was much more pleasant as a character. His older brother seems a little bit more of, shall I say, a rude, uncultured guy. That being said, we're going to take him on right now, and being that he's very similar to Lord Ukulele, he does rotate weaknesses and move sets. So depending on which one you RNG into, then having the appropriate team will end the battle much more quickly. Now in this case, on our very first try, we got him to be weak to fire. So we're just gonna lay the smackdown with Ewan as well as Garyu OG. And again, if you're wondering why I'm carrying Garyu OG, not for any particular reason. I mean, I feel that his AS is a lot better. However, I'm just using him in preparation for his level 10 manifest weapon fight. So you can see that this boss is not as difficult as some of the other bosses you faced. However, the AoE you just saw there, if left unmitigated, can approach 3000 damage on all your characters. So make sure you do have Aurora Force up, because after all, you won't know exactly which element you are fighting. And you can also see that he switched all of a sudden, which made my fire attacks useless and actually heals him instead. Luckily, we do have Leclerc in the back, and again, she's on our team only to power up her manifest weapon. Now, just a reminder, you can actually bring any character that uses the same weapon type and equip it on that particular character, and the manifest weapon will still gain XP. But being that I'm a purist, I prefer to just bring the OG character that's associated with the manifest weapon, just kind of to test things out, and especially now that my manifest weapons are already at level 7, you do have some benefit. Alright, so first boss down, 2 more to go. So again, like most story walkthroughs, I'm going to stop talking now and let you watch the rest of the video in peace. I'll catch you at the next boss battle. Thanks for watching! We'll see you later. Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, back with part 2 of the 3 boss battles. So after taking care of Lord Ukulele's brother, we're now back at the Cavern, and we're going to take down the Dogu Minister. Now if you've watched this earlier part of the video, you'll know that by achieving and obtaining Cyrus's personal weapon, we'll now have the power to slice the shield in half, and thereby bypassing the boss battle's defenses so that we can lay the smackdown and deal damage to the boss itself. Now that being said, you don't actually have to carry Cyrus on your team when fighting the boss. So one good thing to note. I will say that obviously as a free 5-star character, having Cyrus, especially when I didn't have any water DPS, was very useful. But nowadays, especially if you have people like Shani, AS Shani, Hismina, so on and so forth, or even AS Yuna, you don't really need Cyrus 5-star on your team. Now his personal weapon does allow him to have additional benefits, but I'm not going to mention them here because once you obtain the weapon yourself, you're probably just going to put it on Cyrus and leave him be. I don't suspect that will change your decision in using him at all. Okay, like most Dogu, he's going to be weak to blunt, and so Yuan is a perfect character to damage him and also power up your AF bar. You can also see that by using wind attacks, like most of his smaller brethren, Dogus are vulnerable to wind, and so we can also deal additional damage. Now note that at part 2, he did switch resistances such that the physical damage is not going to be useful anymore. So luckily we do have Garyu OG, and we're going to put him right back in and use his 2x XL attack, in which case we're going to end the battle pretty quickly. I think this is reminiscent of one of the battles, I want to say in Ogre Wars Part 2 maybe? Where one of the bosses in the Macromo Museum had rotating weaknesses to magic versus physical attack. So as long as you have one magic user, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Note that the damage is very, very reasonable, under 1,000 for sure. And with a decent healer as well as a couple of 5-stars on your team, you shouldn't have any problem defeating the Dogu Minister. That being said, the most difficult battle is yet to come. So, again, I'll stop talking now and let you watch the rest of this part in peace. And we'll catch you on the other side at part 3, where the Dogu King lies in wait for us. Thanks for watching! We'll see you later. Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with the third part of this video for you. Let me know in the comments below if you prefer for me to split up all 3 boss battles separately, or if this is okay to put all 3 battles in one video. Now the reason I chose all 3 in one video is only because for pure continuity, being that you actually face them back to back to back. I mean, not really back to back to back, but you know, from wandering from one area and fighting one, directly to the next and directly to the next. And also, the other reason why I put all 3 together is the first 2 battles were not too challenging, whereas this one takes a little bit more planning, so be aware of that as well. Now, this wasn't my first time attempting to take on this boss. If you know me from playing in the past, I try not to look at any guides online to dictate moveset and stuff like that. I like to explore and kind of experiment and see where it goes, like going in blind perhaps. In this case, I brought my usual team, and the one with Ewan and Leclerc, the one you saw, and it wasn't quite enough, so I decided to substitute in Mighty for one of the characters. And in short time, you'll see why that is the case. So that being said, in preparation for this boss battle, I would recommend 2 magic users who can deal significant amounts of damage, as well as 1 or 2 physical attackers who also can deal significant amounts of damage. Now keep in mind that since this is a Dogu, you do want to bring at least a blunt attack user or a wind attack user. Now in this case, I took out Suzette and put in Mighty OG. And with his manifest weapon, the Nightmare gift is perfect in that it boosts his own int while doing 2 times XL water damage directly onto a boss. So you can see that the first couple of turns are relatively uneventful, and by doing both water attacks, which are magical, as well as physical attacks, it really brought down the shielding. Now you can see that this core actually can re-raise the armor around it if you give it enough turns. And the boss that is the core is a lot more annoying. When it's inside the shielding on the armor, it does, I would say, less damage and less annoying moves. The core itself actually has a confused status AoE, as well as significant amounts of non-type magic AoE attacks. So do be aware that if you don't bring enough magic users, you're going to extend the fight much longer, and it can be quite irritating, and depending on RNG, 1 or 2 of your characters could die as well. So just to note that the core is weak to magical attacks and resists physical attacks. So that's why by having 2 magical users, you can end the battle relatively easy. Also, I clearly demonstrated that the boss does have an HP stopper at 40%, and so even by activating a full AF, you can't clear it right there and then. Now keep in mind that with my 2 magical users and having Aurora Force plus good heal and status removal with Mario, at this point in the fight, hopefully the battle ends in just a few turns. And you can see that the core is attempting to raise back the armor. So what will happen is, if you don't defeat it in a set number of turns, it will regenerate the armor around it and have a full HP bar of the armor. Now the core itself will remain damaged up to the point that you left it before it regenerates its armor. And then afterwards, when the armor collapses, you can attack the core directly again. So there you have it. All 3 boss battles ended for chapter 58. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.